Hi everyone, thanks for being here. I hope you're all well. You can probably tell in my voice that I am loaded with cold, so please excuse me for sounding quite nasal today. It's not so good, but you know, I love doing this, I'm coming on anyway. Okay, first card, and I have no idea which direction this reading's going in. I'm not even sure at this moment in time what it's relating to, but we shall go with it. Okay, looking at the card there and actually reading from it, blossoming. And I feel that this is related to the twin flame connection. So this is one of you in the connection that is actually at that point now where you have focused on the right thing. You have focused on self. You have put the work in. And in fact, I actually feel that this is for both of you, strangely enough. I was going to say I feel it's the feminine, but now I'm seeing that actually the masculine is coming into that blossoming energy as well. So they are realising as much as you are that, you know, the most important thing here is actually self. Being at one with self, being at peace, being okay with who you are and where you are and where you are going. I think we can put so much emphasis on the actual connection and the said destination of it. And in truth, there is no destination because it is a never-ending journey. It's a constant sort of learning and mirroring backwards and forwards to uncover those hidden truths of yourself within. So I feel that, as I say, at the moment, there is something happening here that has changed things. The dynamic's just completely gone up. It's changed to a different level. And you're now feeling very, very connected with yourself. And because of that, because you've put that time and effort in there to focus on you and to take some time for yourself, you are now actually, you know, without realizing it, you're coming closer together now with your twin, which is just absolutely beautiful. It's lovely. So it just shows you that, you know, you are important. You are a must on this journey. You can't just put all of your efforts, all of your focus, all of your thoughts and mind into that partner, because that will not serve you at the end of the day. It has to be a bit of both, and they need to do the same for you so that this is a divinely balanced situation here. We don't want somebody sort of shooting off the mark and basically losing direction. We always have to come back to our inner state, which is that inner sense of home, which is our soul. And obviously our soul is the same as theirs. There is that deep bond and that connection there. So if you're working on yourself, you're actually working on them, and vice versa. So it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, next card. Reconciling differences. So yeah, again, I feel that this is both of you learning to understand the light and dark within each other, that, you know, nobody is perfect, because nobody is in truth. We all have our own issues, and sometimes it does take somebody else's perspective, somebody else having a look at it from their sort of lens to appreciate what's truly going on. And I feel like for many people, we can live our lives with almost like it's like a veil over our sort of vision. So we're living, but we're not fully living. We're not seeing truthfully, honestly, wholly. And it's out of fear. Nobody wants to sort of uncover those dark elements of ourselves that perhaps are a little bit scary or just a bit unusual. You know, it gets us in a guarded state. Sometimes though, for your twin, if they are willing and are available to step in and sort of share with you how they see things from their perspective, it can just shed a completely different light. It's like, much like in the picture here, it's like a kaleidoscope. It's like light is being sort of targeted at you from a different angle there. It's been shone down and it's formed something so beautiful that you didn't actually see as having been there within you. So yeah, it's almost as if their light comes in and shines into the cavities that are so dark and well hidden within ourselves. And yeah, they've awakened parts of us. So yeah, it's this twin effort, this duality here, that in order for anybody to fully succeed and get to a point in life where they feel at peace and at one, then they must be willing to go into some of those dark, murky waters and into those elements of themselves that perhaps they've never ventured into, or perhaps they have not even been aware of. But this reunion, this connection of hearts, this bonding, and I feel that this is happening at the minute. There's significant power and change coming in at the moment, and that is happening. So even if perhaps you're not in touch with your twin here in the physical form, they are in touch with you on the 5D, on a soul level, and there's a lot of work being done here to move you forward, to shine the light and to transform and just get you out of this dark, stagnant energy that I feel you've been in. Yeah, and again, I think it's very important to acknowledge that whether or not you've sort of looked into past lives before, or perhaps you believe in them, you don't believe in them, but it is very important to acknowledge that as any soul, we have been here countless times, and with twin flame connections, there is nothing like it. There is no comparison out there. You will know when you meet the person that is your twin in this lifetime, and the reason you know, and you may not be able to even pinpoint it to a specific thing, but you know it because you know it in your heart and your soul. And the reason for that is remembering. You remember them from a past life. You know that it's somewhere you've been before. It's that sense of belonging, and it's that connection. It's a coming home. It's an awakening, and it's empowering. It's all of a sudden, it's as if you've been sort of struck by lightning or charged up with batteries that are so incredibly powerful. All of a sudden you just see the world very differently, and in a wonderful, magical world that just unfolds. Things just keep on getting better and better. And please, if you're having a hard time at the moment, and we know that happens regularly on this journey, don't feel that, this message is not for you, because it is. Because even when you're having a hard time, that is progress, that is movement, that is moving away from stagnation. It is getting you to open up, to see and to explore the wider connection here. So yeah, really, really beautiful. Okay, activating the higher chakras. So I feel here that this is connecting with source. This is getting rid of any energetic blocks between you. So if you've been, as I say, stuck in a negative, stagnant energy for some time, and perhaps there's been a lot of fear there, you've been worried about the connection and whether they feel the same way, what's happening here, whether it's divine, whether it's in your imagination perhaps, whatever those fears have been and those doubts, they are shifting now. And you are awakening. You are both, and this is both of you, masculine and feminine. You are both switching on. You are connecting in the higher realms. Your loved ones, your guides and your team are supporting you 100%. And I feel that you are starting to really feel this now. Something has lifted, and there is this beautiful bright light shining through. You can feel that bliss state, that love, that connection, in whether this is in dreams or in the 3D or in the 5D, you're just feeling something different, and it's coming at you like music. It's absolutely beautiful. And you are, I feel, a bit stunned, and you're not entirely sure what this is, but at the same time you're loving it. You're loving that energy and that feeling, and just enjoy it. Sit in that blissful place of peace and just enjoy the wonder, because it is absolutely amazing. Yeah, perfect. This is basically following in what we've just said there. Take me home, pathway to true love, and that's the point. So if you follow that feeling that we've just been talking about there, and you know it anyway, even without any of that, you know that is going to take you home. It's going to get you back to the place that is sort of the dwelling of your soul. It's where your soul belongs. Now, in the 3D form, we have our bodies and we have our soul, and our soul is free to come and go as and when it chooses and wishes to do so. And that's why, you'll have astral travel, you'll have visitations, you'll feel sometimes as well a bit perhaps disconnected. I've had it myself when I've been out for a dog walk, and all of a sudden I have felt really odd. And, the first couple of times it happened, I remember thinking, am I not well? Am I going to pass out? What's going on here? It was a bit of that out-of-body experience. And eventually I realised that's kind of what's going on. It's as if my soul's just left me for a moment, and I'm a bit unsure of what's going on, because it's just the ego, it's just the fear, the doubt. And it was very, very strange. And once I got my head around it, it was quite beautiful, quite powerful. But this is it. I feel that now, because of these higher chakras aligning and coming into sort of deep connection there, you are doing this more and more often. So you may find more and more often you're feeling detached, a little bit confused, perhaps a bit lightheaded. You're just not really with it, and maybe you can't string your sentences together properly, or you're just losing your trail of thought, or you just feel like it's almost as if you're completely disconnected from the world. It's a very strange thing to explain. It's almost as if you've been on a flying carpet, and this might sound ridiculous, but if you're on a flying carpet and you know that even though that carpet is light beneath you, you know that you're supported. It's almost like a subconscious hidden way of protecting you and keeping you safe. And then all of a sudden, if you were to imagine somebody's whipped that rug out from underneath you, then you're still in space. You might still be floating, but it just feels that little bit odd. Something isn't right because something is missing. And please don't think that your soul's abandoned you and it's not going to come back. It comes and goes all day long, and we don't even realise it. But at the moment, there are times when it may be away for that little bit longer. At one period. And that's because it's being drawn to go back home, to find that connection again, to go back into that sort of vortex, that tunnel of love and light and beauty that is your twin. Yeah, okay, and I feel here, this is exactly what we've been talking about there in one of the earlier cards. It might have been the first one. Rebirth, personal freedom unleashed. So you have realised that actually the key to the connection being a success is about you. And you may have had some issues at the beginning, feeling that was a selfish way to look at things. And you didn't want to be in that energy. You didn't want to be focused on self because you can't take your mind or your eyes off them. Your thoughts are always with them. But now you've realised that actually, yeah, you are important, because if you don't get your own stuff together and get your sort of mind and sort of state of well-being grounded and in a place that you are confident and comfortable and happy with, then you are of no good to that connection. You need to be your best version, which you need to find for yourself first. That's not to say that they're not going to help make things even better, because they will. It's always a bit of sort of give and take there, where you work on each other, you mirror backwards and forwards, you help each other grow and you help each other heal. But you must go through that rebirth initially on your own. You must face those shadows. You must go deep within to transform. It is vital that you put the effort into that. Okay, here I feel that Archangel Michael is protecting this connection. He is watching over you. So again, it's not just your loved ones and your guides, it's your archangels as well. And this is just beautiful. This energy, the violet flame, is very much like what I was saying before there about that vortex, that tunnel of love, and that cradle. And again, a bit like the flying carpet, this sort of thing. It's a feeling of weightlessness. It's almost as if you've been in a position where you've say you're sat and you're in a meditative practice where you've got your legs crossed and you're just calm and you're just sitting, and then all of a sudden it's as if you've levitated, you've come out of the seat or off the floor, wherever you are, and you're up in the air and you feel like you're being cradled. You feel like you're back in the womb and you're protected and you're safe and you're loved. And I feel that this is important because not only is it telling us that Archangel Michael is watching out for this divine connection and is helping to protect and heal you and grow you, but also it's about the fact that, yes, when you are with your twin, when you are connecting, and this again can be in the 3D or the 5D, when you are in that energy and you are open to communicating and you are free and unguarded and at peace, then you feel that same energy of the violet flame. You feel it like that beautiful womb-like blissful state of love. It's just absolute divine freedom and connection. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, just believe in that, trust in it, and hope that at some point in the future you will actually get that feeling in the physical. And even if you don't, embrace it in the 5D. Always keep going back to it, keep reminding yourself, because it's real. It's not in your imagination. It's not in your head. This is not something that, you've just concocted and you're fantasizing about. It is real. It is more real than we can ever explain to anybody. And I think only in that connection can you ever possibly understand how that feels. And I mean, I'm saying all of this. Everyone's experiences of this are different. We all have our own ways of sort of feeling and receiving energy. And so for you, it may feel a little different, but in a way, there'll be something in this message, I hope, that resonates, because it will align at some point. Yeah, perfect. Trust in it. Trust in this lovely, beautiful, heartfelt connection. Listen to your heart. Allow it to open. Ask it what it needs. Speak with your heart. I feel this is about. Because we're so eager to just, as I've said so many times recently, we're eager to just be on the go, just be on autopilot, without really feeling, without truly living, without connecting with our soul. And certainly we don't connect with our heart enough. So just sitting just in a quiet space where you're not going to be disturbed, close your eyes, put one hand on your heart and then the other on top of that hand, and just start to feel the beat of your heart, the rhythm, and just allow your mind, your thoughts to all just shut down, let everything go, and just focus on the beat of that heart. And then after a while, just see what happens. See if you start to see anything, feel anything. You might see something in your clairvoyance. You might hear some guidance from above. You might hear your twin, or you might just sense something. You might sense a change in the room, as if somebody's with you and somebody's sending you love. Tune in with that and try and do that regularly, because the more we continue to practice that and tune in there where it really, really matters, then we can lead our life fully. We haven't got any hidden sort of darkness there. We're connected and we're deeply bonded with ourselves, which is our soul. Apologies, that's upside down. Yeah, and if you are willing to do that, if you're willing to connect in that way with self, then you become more aware. Things become clear. As I've just said there about visions, you may start to see things more because you're open to it, because you're trusting and you're asking for it as well. And you can ask your team, your guides, and you can ask your loved ones, but you can also ask your twin, please, can you give me a sign of this connection? Please, can you show me something? And it doesn't matter what you're asking for really, but it's about right then in that moment. So we're not talking about you're going to call me in a moment, or we're going to bump into each other in the street. We're talking here about the 5D. So with your hands on your heart, asking for something, and then just being patient and observant enough, being aware and trusting that you will receive something. You might even hear a song. You might be sat there and you don't know where it's come from, but you can just hear lyrics from a song. And that's not with a radio playing. That's within you, within your soul. So yeah, connect. Yeah, and I feel this backs that up. It's the fact that within you have gifts. You have many gifts, and so does your twin. And for some of you might think, I'm not gifted, I haven't got this ability, and I'm not saying that because I think that. I don't think that at all. I know you're all gifted, but we have a lot of self-doubt on this journey, and we can just, we can convince ourselves time and time again that the ego is right, basically, and that this is all nonsense and none of it's real, none of it's true, it's all in the mind. Magic doesn't exist. But we can go on and on and on. But honestly, in truth, once you know, and you fully know, and sometimes this takes time. I mean, I was on a sort of the skeptical fence for many years, even though I truly believed. I also had this niggling doubt because, I hadn't worked through the ego yet, so I wasn't in tune with it entirely. But once you're open to that and you're accepting, then things activate. Your gifts get stronger, they get more powerful, the connection between you gets more intense, more connected. And for me, I feel like it's a silent truth as well. If you are in contact with that person in the physical form, sometimes it can be as simple as just looking at each other. You just catch each other's eye, and it's like they understand you, and they have been inside your soul, and they have turned you inside out. And that might sound like, uncomfortable. And yeah, there is sort of an alarming element to it, but at the same time, there's so much love coming with that, so much sense of protection. It's just, you trust it. You don't know why, but you just absolutely trust it. And that's it. So even just from this one glance, you feel that you are connected. It's almost as if by doing that, you have woven the threads tighter together. You have braided that bond even stronger. The roots have grown even deeper. And because of that, because the roots continue to grow and grow and grow over time, that bond cannot be broken. And that's the simple matter of it. It's no matter how many times you might try to shut this down, to deny it, to walk away from it, to block it out your life, to, do what you feel is the right thing to do, you cannot escape this, because this is a gift and you came here to receive it. You came here, you chose here to do this. This was your plan, and this is both of you. So yeah, be open to receiving that gift, which is the connection. Yeah, and speak your truth. So if you're feeling emotional, if you're feeling something that is powerful, that is ready to burst out from within you, then please speak it to your twin. And if you're not in a position to connect on the 3D, or you feel it, it's not the time to actually come forward with that truth at the present moment, then yeah, do it in the 5D. There's absolutely no reason why you can't. It will be received just as well. And sometimes it's even better, because on the 5D, it's just pure soul. There's no ego getting involved there. It's meeting your twin on a pure 100% soul level, and it's just beautiful. There's no guards there. It's 100% authenticity. So don't doubt it. And I think I've said this recently. You can always, almost, it's like having a trial run. You can say something to your twin on the 5D first, more than once if you wish to, and then after doing that, depending on how it's been received, or how you feel about the situation, then at some point you can then move forward and do that in the physical form. But please don't hold on to all that beautiful energy within you, because our love and our power and our emotions, if they are trapped and suppressed, it doesn't bode well. It ends up making us feel ill. We have that dis-ease. We have that sense of disconnection with self, with soul, and with purpose. So we need to keep this in motion. We need to have that free flow of energy. We have to release it, and you just have to trust and have faith that at some point, even if it's not within that moment, at some point they will understand. They will look at that, whether it's right then and there or whether it's looking back, and they'll say, now I get it, now I understand. And even if they run a mile, perhaps they're a little bit anxious about it and they weren't expecting it, or it's just a bit too intense and it's scared them a little bit, please don't see that as a rejection. It's just the fact that they need to have some time to process. And even if they have said anything that's perhaps being offensive, or being a little bit harsh to sort of put you off, it is just to create that bit of space. It's just their way of pushing you back and saying, oh, hang on, I'm not ready for this right now. It doesn't mean they're not going to be. It just means right there in that moment, it's just a bit too much for them. But honestly, in truth, when they have an opportunity to look at it from a higher perspective and take that step back and look at what's happened, they will absolutely appreciate the fact that you spoke your truth, that you were your true self and you were authentic, because that's what this journey is about. It's about, releasing all these layers of bandages, of wounds, of masking, and all the fears, all of the pretense you carry through your life. You become a completely different version of yourself, because you can't become your true self, which is your soul, that doesn't need any of that stuff. So self-expression is so important. It's absolutely huge on this journey. Apologies, again, upside down. Yeah, and again, I love this. I mean, this is the Twin Flame Ascension deck, so it is all relating to twin flames. Apologies. But I love how these are all coming out. There's a lovely theme going on here. So yeah, honour your agreement. You chose to do this together. And yes, it can get painful. Yes, it can get difficult. It can be unbearable. Sometimes you just feel like you've had enough. You can't go on. You don't even want to be here. But please, if you're ever feeling in that dark, heavy energy, just remind yourself how far you have come and that you did choose this for a reason. And, you might look at it in terms of this life and think, I haven't come that far. We've done nothing. We've achieved nothing. It's not working. Well, it's not only this life. You have done this so many times in other lives, and there is a reason why you are back trying again in this one. So please don't give up on that. It's true, really. In a twin connection, time does stand still. There's no measure of time. And I know for those in pain or separation at the moment, it can feel completely the opposite. It can feel like it's been months, years. The hours in each day are too long. But in truth, when you have that reunion and that connection and you come back into one another's lives, then it's as if time has just stood still because you love each other on a soul level. The passion is so raw and just untouched. It's just nature, it's source energy, and it is divine. It hasn't been tarnished by any of what's happened over the time of separation. It's just that recognition, that acknowledgement of the pure love and the fact that you're coming home together. You are mirrors. You bounce off one another. You reflect the beauty within each other, and you see each other's light. You see each other's power. Oh, it's just magical. Sorry, I'm getting quite emotional here. But it is. It's just beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So again, we've got this vortex. So I had a vortex and another card there. Allowing yourself to go within, I feel this is, for healing, for journey, for adventure, into discovering who you truly are as a soul. Allow yourself to fall into the vortex of who you truly are. Align with it. Don't keep living your life on this autopilot. Gotta do what I need to do what's expected of me. I've got to run around here. I've got to jump from A to B. It's go, 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 go without a stop, without a thought for yourself. And we're not being, selfish here. This is not about that. It's the opposite. We have to put energy into ourselves in order to be better people, to live a better life, and to support and love others in a better position. We have to be open to that abundance within. And as it says on the card, it is infinite. Once you have connected with that source energy within you, your soul, it's like you've opened a whole new world, and it's another part of yourself that you did not know existed. And to be honest, sometimes it can get a bit addictive, and that might sound silly, but the energy that you connect with when you go into that place, into that vortex, into that beautiful, wonderful, expansive space, is exactly that. It's space, it's time away from what's going on in the 3D world, and you're away from the pressure, and you suddenly realise that what is valuable, what is important to you in this life, and that is love and connection. So it's not about whether you've got a fantastic job or £1 million house or a million friends in the world or whatever. It's not about this competitive, materialistic, buying sort of state. It's about how you feel on the inside. So we need to align with that. We need to go back within, back into our heart space, and connect with that. Okay, yeah. And in order to allow the soul merge to happen, which is you merging with yourself as a soul, then you have to be in flow state. You have to go with the ebb and the flow of life. You have to be away from the resistant energy. You have to be open to it, aligning your chakras, taking that time for yourself, going within, and, just paying attention on the inside. And I feel, again, this is connecting with your twin in the 5D, putting that effort in, making that time for that. It's, we always feel that because of the way society is, that we should be able to get things here and now in the physical, and that is on the twin flame journey very much the number one biggest desire, is just to simply be together, to have and hold each other in the physical. And obviously that will be magical when that time comes, But it is also absolutely, without a doubt, more important to connect with the soul of your twin first, and the soul of yourself. And as I've said before, if you're connecting with your own soul, you're also connecting with theirs. That's when the bond gets really strong. So go within, make the effort to get to know yourself, and in doing that, you will get to know them too. Yeah, beyond illusion, change your perception. So, begin to understand that whatever's going on in the physical world out there is not all there is. This is, as I've said before, almost like the playground for the souls to come and learn and grow. We as souls have come to earth to master our own energies, our own understanding of life, of love, of connection, of patience, of trust, of many things, commitment even. There's just so many elements we have come to learn, but there is usually 2 or 3 which are very significant for you on your journey. And sometimes just that going out of the 3D world, connecting on the 5D, going into that space I was just talking about, that expansive meditative type space, allows you to get beyond the illusion of the 3D. It allows you to go back home, to the higher realms, and to see to observe from a higher state, to be there to gain awareness from a better perspective. So yeah, for some of you, you might never have done that before. You may not have meditated. You may not have connected with your twin before. If you haven't, try it. Give it a go. Just take some time. I think I'll do a reading on this one day. There might actually already be one as well about similar things. Have a look, please, in the playlist, and I'll post if there is one. But yeah, do that. Take some time for that, because even if, it may not be an instant sort of response from them, it will be opening the pathway, it will be awakening you, and it is also healing you. It's also connecting you with yourself. So it's really, really powerful. It's almost like the invisible web that connects all the dots together. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, follow the signs. We all know that on this journey we are constantly given signs, and yes, some days we believe them and some days we would just shove them aside, and it's easy just to get on with life and just ignore that, because it can sometimes bring us back into that heavy energy where you start to feel sort of self-doubt and rejection and pain and suffering. But I feel that these mystical messages have been given for a reason. They are coming through thick and fast now. And it's getting a bit intense. It's almost as if you can't keep up with the amount that are coming through, but just see it as beauty, see it as art unfolding, and a constant reminder that this is the destined path for you, that you are doing the right thing, that this connection is real, and yeah, allow it to open you up and allow you to see things clearly. Okay, yeah, I feel that this is also vital. You must ground yourself, you must, and this is a hard one, because very often on the twin flame journey we can get so sort of swept away by the magic and the intensity and the power of the love, that it's almost as if we've just taken off up into the air, like in a hot air balloon, and really we have no idea what's going on down on earth anymore, because we're away with the fairies, we're on cloud 9. And when it feels like that, yes, it's beautiful, it's amazing, but we must remember to ground ourselves. We must remember to shield and protect ourselves and bring us back down to the 3D reality. And I know for many people you just simply don't want to, because once you've experienced that 5D connection or that blissful bond and that intense love, nothing else compares, and we know it doesn't. But understand that you've come here as a soul to learn in the 3D, so you must get back in there, you must get your feet back on the ground. And as well, if you are sort of swept away by the love and the magic, you're open to suggestion there as well, and not always in a good way. So you start to sometimes see things with rose-tinted glasses, and you don't see things fully for the true sort of reflection that they are showing you. So it is important, as much as you may not want to, it is important to come back down and just connect with yourself again in the physical. Okay, I feel like we've got 3 more cards, but we shall see. Yeah, Kundalini rising. Well, this is beautiful, this is powerful, because those of you that know, the Kundalini energy is activated once you are connected with your twin. And once that is happening, it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. And that bond and that love, it will never die out, because that is a light now. That is a flame. It is roaring. It is burning within both of you. And no matter how many times you may try to put out those flames, you may try and sort of squash that energy, you cannot, you simply cannot. So now it's a case of, in order for that to gain its full true power and its full light, you must clear all of the energy within yourself that is holding you back from that Kundalini and that connection. You must go within, you must get rid of, if there's a karmic partner there, or a job that no longer serves you, or perhaps it's a friendship, whatever it may be, or it could be fears or resentment, something holding you back within your life. You must clear that energy out and make way for this beautiful, loving light to shine forward. Yeah, so, and I feel, even though this is the High Priestess, I do feel that this is for the masculine also. I feel that this is both of you together becoming more awakened, becoming more conscious, expanding your perspective on life, on this connection, on all things. It's almost as if, as I said earlier, that veil has been lifted now, and you're starting to see things in a more beautiful, powerful and interconnected way. I think before things were very much black and white, and it's like now somebody's just made everything colour, and it's magical and it's beautiful. So keep working on that, because that is doing you wonders. Yeah, again, I feel like it's almost a mirrored card there. If you are connecting with expanded consciousness, if you are going into sort of meditative practice and 5D connections, and connecting with your team and your loved ones and your guides, then you are connecting with that divine source. And from there, from that place of beauty and bliss and space, you are able to create. You are inspired. You are open to receiving. It's this universal cosmic energy. It's beautiful. And if you can get into that place, and yes, it sometimes takes time, once you've been there, as I've said in one of those earlier cards, it can become a bit addictive, because it is just too magical, too beautiful. It's like going on the best holiday in the world and then having to come home, and you do not want to do that. But trust me, as we've just had in that other card there, you do need to come back, you do need to ground yourself, and you need to connect with your 3D self. But the whole purpose of this is to integrate this higher version of yourself, your soul, from that divine energy into the 3D. So the more you do the two together, experiencing that expansive energy mixed with the 3D reality, then eventually you'll get to a point where you're just in alignment, you're balanced as a soul. It's almost as if you've got a foot in both worlds. And then you're standing in your power there. You've done what you came here to do, which is both. It's not to live your life fully in a 3D and be unawakened, and it's not to be out of your body, spending the entire time in the higher realms. It's combining those two together. It's duality. It's merging. And as twin flames, that's exactly the point as well. So we are helping each other awaken to our duality, the fact that we are in our nature two beings. We are our 3D self, and we are our soul. And as twins, well, we are two, because we are our divine twins. We are the one soul. that is shared between these two beautiful individuals. So yeah, it's about getting back to that beautiful power, and that, oh, it's almost like the rainbow road. You get on it, and when you know you're back, you feel like you've gone home, and that's why you don't want to leave. But the more you can do it, the more you can practice coming and going and just being open to receiving that energy and that information, then the more you'll progress on your journey. Yeah, beautiful. Sorry, I'm just needing a quick drink there. So yeah, reprogram your soul. And this is exactly it, isn't it? It's allowing your soul to come in, but to also be aware of the 3D elements of your life, your reality. But you know, it's almost like in this 3D body, we need to give our soul a kickstart. We need to, you know, give it a boost. It needs a jump. It needs some sort of accelerator. It needs some sort of ignition to bounce it back into the light, to make it come through, to shine through your heart. And your twin is the one person that will usually get that started. They are your ignition. They are your pilot light. And that's why sometimes when, you know, you're in separation, you can feel like your pilot light's out. You can feel down, depressed, detached. Yeah, sometimes inconsolable. You know, nothing anybody will say to you makes it any better, because you just feel empty, because that light in your heart isn't there. And when they're in your life, they are with you. And the point is, even if they're not, and you're in this separation, you can connect with their energy. You can connect with that lovely ignition and that pilot light. You can set your heart on fire simply by going into the 5D. So release any fear about that, about whether or not 5D connection is sort of important or real or whatever it may be. Raise your vibration and go there. Try it regularly. Just keep connecting with your soul, keep connecting with your twin, and things will get better. Okay, I feel like we're getting on to the last two cards now. Sorry, I did say that a while ago, but as I say, you never know what's going to come. I always just do this intuitively, so I'm guided when to stop. Yeah, sacred sexuality, accessing the unified field. And I feel that this is one heck of a powerful thing. If any of you have been fortunate enough to have had experiences in the physical sexually, you will know that within that place, at some point, you did access something that was beyond self and even beyond your person. You know, it's unexplainable. I mean, if you look at this card here, if you imagine in the middle there's the two beings connected. That's the Kundalini rising, the fire in the middle. And then there's these outer orbs, these sort of protective fields. And for most people, I feel that, you know, you feel something on the inside, and it's beautiful, it's magical, it's powerful, it does ignite you, it's wonderful. However, you can get to a place, if your Kundalini's risen, that takes you beyond that. It gets you outside of yourself. It's almost having this out of body experience where your souls come alive together, they dance around, and you know, that might sound all airy fairy and not very realistic, but it's a feeling. It's very much a visceral thing that it's just felt, and it's like fireworks going off outside of yourself, and yet you are the firework. You're everywhere. It's unified. It's universal consciousness. It's that sacred connection with source. So it's almost as if, you know, you've come out of the physical intimate connection, and as much as that is beautiful and that's a lovely place to reside, you know, if you're making love or whatever, you're in that place of just release and beauty and sharing and connection, and that in itself is amazing. But if you can get to a place that is beyond that, where your souls come out together, and it's almost as if you're holding hands, but you're also within each other. It's like you've stepped inside one another on a soul level, and you feel each other penetrating each other's energy field with such bliss and such power. Again, it's that place of going home, because you are remembering source energy. You are remembering where your soul has come from, and there's no feeling like it. It's just complete and utter surrender and release and bliss. Yeah. So, sorry, I've dragged that out a bit, but it's quite a difficult one to explain. But if you haven't experienced it, try, if you're in that physical connection, if you do have the opportunity for this, to just be open, instead of thinking about what's going on in the moment and, perhaps performance or the aim of it, or where you are, the room, what's going on. Just go that little bit deeper. Allow your mind to just drift, to wander, to almost get into that deep soul level state, to disconnect from the outer. And that's not to ignore the person. It's just to see things from an energy perspective instead of a physical one. And so then if you can tune in with that, you may start to notice more things. And obviously do connect in with your person. Don't just go off somewhere and not be present at all. You have to kind of allow it to have that ebb and flow, to come and go. But just see if you can feel anything else. And, if you've got a lot of trust with this person, you could ask them to do the same. When the time is right, when you are ready for this Kundalini energy to be fully activated, you will know and you will feel it. And it will be something that you can never forget and never explain. And it's a place that you just, because you can never forget it, you just want to go home. You want to return to that beautiful energy. And also, sorry, if you haven't got that opportunity in the physical, you can get there in the 5D. I would suggest you ask your twins permission for this on the 5D. Don't just go in there and, try and sexually activate them or get the Kundalini rising. Ask for them to come forward and help you with that if they are willing. And again, just going into that deep inner space and communicate and allow it to unfold. Yeah, open your heart. So set loving boundaries. I feel that this is the fact that if you want this to work, if you want to get to a place of union, if you're not already, if you want this connection with this person, then you must be aware of what it is you need. You have to set some boundaries for yourself, instead of just living life without paying any attention. Then you need to be kind to yourself. You need to know what it is you want, and you need to be open for that. So it's almost like you're making space within your own heart for the things that you need and the things that you want. Plant the right seed. Okay. This is, I feel, the last card, and it's a strange one, but I feel like they're ending on this one for a reason, so I will trust in that. Transformation, battle of head versus heart. Yeah, and isn't that just exactly what this twin flame journey is? It is a constant battle between the head and the heart, because we always have ego coming back in, telling us, it is not true. They do not love us. They do not care. This isn't going to work. This is impossible. This can't go on. We need to stop this. We need to, block it, push it away, guard ourselves, protect and shield. And then you've got the heart calling like a beacon that is magnetized to your twin, that cannot release, cannot break that bond. And it just grows stronger and stronger and brighter and brighter. So, even if you're in separation, that love doesn't diminish in any way. It just gets more powerful. And as I've said, you cannot always put this into words. But what we are doing here on this journey is transforming ourselves, as I've said, transforming ourselves from our 3D physical human being into a physical being that is, 100% soul. And that might sound silly, but our soul is who we truly are. And if we are so disconnected, then how can we ever get to a place where we are fully living from the heart? We cannot. We'll be living from the head, and the head is not the right place to be at. That is the ego. That is the 3D heavy energy. So connecting as much as we can with our heart, with our loved one, will allow us to transform and grow. And eventually we will get to a place where we've just reached the pinnacle, which is that divine connection where both of your energies flow together as one. You read each other, feel each other, know each other, support each other, guide and trust each other. It's like all the beautiful elements come in overflowing abundance, and all of the negativity, all of the hard stuff, all of that heaviness that you've carried throughout your life in the 3D until now, all of that has been healed, it has been accessed, it's been mirrored, it's been worked on. And it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. The shadow work you have to do on this journey is deep, and it's hard, and it's uncomfortable. But once you have broken free of all of that baggage, and once you've understood the baggage and who you are as a soul, as a person, and who your twin is, then you can just see things in a magnified, beautiful, intense light. And from then on, life is just easy. It's because it's supported. And that's not to say you won't have the odd issue. Of course, you're still human. You are still human. Even if your soul is 100% with you, you still have to engage with the reality of the 3D world. And so the 3D will rub off on you. But you will just see things in a purer, simpler way. And because of that, it's almost as if you've got the right lens in your glasses, and you know exactly what you're looking at now. Nothing's a mystery, nothing's lurking in the shadows, nothing's shaded by sunglasses. You just see everything, and you see all the little elements, all the little facets, almost like a diamond, all the different sides that make up who you are and who they are. And it all makes sense. And because of that deep understanding, because you've done the work, you can live your life the way you were meant to live it, which is connected and supporting each other, because you trust and understand, and most of all, love each other. Okay, I know that was a long one. I hope there was something in there that resonated. Thank you so much for listening. Again, apologies for my cold and sounding like this. I hope you're all well, and stay well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.